Hey there, zine nerds. You know what time it is. It's Zineville time. Let's get right into it. I'm going to do some happy mail we got in today. We also are going to go over some events that are coming up. Also going to talk about some other good things that are happening, and it's going to be a relatively short episode today, but I have another one planned for this weekend as well. Let's get right to it. Roll those credits. Boom. Well, my friends, as you can tell, last week I took the week off. Mental health and all, kind of needed it. While I was mental healthing, which, you know, honestly, we need to do this more often. Everybody needs a little break. You may be like plowing all that fun art and zine stuff and creating. But if you're starting to find yourself exhausted, and you don't want to do the things that bring you joy, pause. Just take a pause. Doesn't have to be a long one. If you just take like literally a week and just breathe and just concentrate on the things that mean like the most to you, like eating, taking care of yourself, some self-care. I did some little mini facials on myself, and I realized that a lot of the stress that I was carrying was just amalgamating into literally breaking out. Like my face is breaking out. I always break out when there's a lot of stress. Also, some little factoid you may not know about me. I had a mini stroke at 16, and when I start getting stressed, the whole left side of my face does get numb again. It is something that I've learned to deal with at this age. It's still a little numb right now, and it does cause issues with me talking. So, you know, big news. We are going to start putting any zine fairs at the end of the episode. I'm going to have like all the zine fairs that are coming up. If you don't know, we are hardcore on Instagram, and I am constantly reposting stuff onto our stories. Anytime somebody's like going, hey, can you repost it? Yeah, I'm going to repost it for you. No problem. I don't charge anything for this at all. I don't charge anything for you to promote your zine on this channel. It's just not what we do here. We want to help promote you. So again, if you know of anybody we can interview, anybody we can talk to further about, like, you know, OG zine people, zine librarians, the like, hey, go ahead and make sure you give them our info. I really don't think that a lot of people are understanding that we're not charging for stuff. Every time I post something that says like mini comics or whatever, I'm like, hey, yeah, cool. Let me promote this for you. Somebody will comment, and it's probably a bot. I know it's a bot. And they'll say something like, oh, and promote this with comics, blah, 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 Instagram. And I go over there and they charge. And they have very low viewers, and they have very few posts. You see what I mean? They're charging you for not much audience. As of right now, we have 1,800 strong, amazing zine folks, art folks, comic folks, zines, everything. And I'm really stoked about that, because the more diverse audience we have with Instagram, the more your stuff is seen, because like I said, I'm reposting. I'm trying to do what I can to help my fellow person. This is my call to action, my personal call to action. I try to do this stuff. Also, let's get this channel out. I don't think that the reach is there. I'm not having like the conversation between Instagram and YouTube. So I really need to get on it. I did start a TikTok. I'm just not really... Look, it's hard enough for me to get a full episode, get everything together, and especially when moving, still packing, a lot of crap. Can't help it. But one of the major issues we're having is we don't have any money to like go forward and do stuff. The way we're going to be able to get money for us to be able to go to different zine fairs, and also I want to start a stipend that anybody can apply for, and it's going to be, you know, for people who make zines, and it's going to be like a copy stipend. I want to be able to start that, but the only way we can do that is to get monetized. If you have any ideas on how we can get monetized faster, that would be great, but I think we have to have like so many hours of actual view time on Instagram, so many hours of actual view time on YouTube. This is what I'm gathering with how the algorithm works, and 1,000 followers. So that's kind of like how that goes. I'm not trying to sit there and get monetized so I can be like a influencer. I hate that word. I'm trying to get monetized so I can go to different zine fairs and I can start recording things and actually do these tours and go to different people who may not be able to like leave and do interviews and whatnot. So the monetization will help with that stuff. We do have a Ko-Fi shop is opening up soon. You'll be able to get really cool things. One moment. Really cool things. Like, look at these. Make zines. This is a glasses chain, and I forgot to put it on earlier because I was at work. But it's a really cool glasses chain. And other things like our zines and everything. Anytime we go to a zine fair and we're selling zines, it is no word of a lie. The money just goes right back into the channel. Either copying or helping another buddy out with something, or doing what we're doing next. We have a zine fair, y'all. We're in the Lynchburg, Virginia area, if you didn't already know, which is kind of like south central near Roanoke, also like north of Danville. So not too far away from everything. And we're having a zine fair, and it's going to be November 5th. I've never organized a full zine fair before. I've organized small events. This is a whole different thing, and I'm really excited about it. It's at Three Roads Brewing. The folks there love independent art, and they love independent like makers and stuff. So it was such a great fit because we already do the Lynchburg Punk Rock Flea Market there. So it's so amazing. If you are working on a small zine fair, do not hesitate to check out breweries. I told you I'm having a hard time talking. Breweries, because those places usually have a pretty big space for a lot of people, and they love having little events. And, you know, we're not charging for tables. We're not charging a door fee. This is kind of like a very community kind of effort, and this is our first one. So it's kind of like, I think, actually the first official happening zine fair. Also, we have a couple little things I'm going to add. This is Jordan with Rain Barrel Zine, and Jordan's doing a special little thing where they're going to show us how they organize their zine collection. Take it away, Jordan.
I've been told I'm an organized person. I'm not sure if I'd agree with that. I always thought of organized people as the folks who would color code their notes in notebooks in college. It was all I could do to just keep up with the lectures. But there are some things I like to have just right, really more for the amount of space it affords. It's easy on my mind. I could find things better. I've been collecting zines for 20 years. I love owning zines, accumulate them, stack them up, read them, put them on a shelf. Didn't really think about where they were going or in what order. Lately, I've been wanting to revisit the zines from my past and sometimes find particular ones, especially for zine clubs that I participate in when they've got a theme night and I need to find a zine about food. Where would I even start? Recently, I was in a zine club that talked about organizing zines, and I got to see other people's organizational techniques. They looked pretty good. So I decided to sit down and tackle my zines.
Shall we begin?
I started off keeping my zines in big plastic bins with lids that I stored in my closet. But I realized that I wasn't looking at my zines. Plus, if there was a particular subject matter that I might want to find, or if I wanted to revisit a zine by a particular writer, I'd have to go through 3 different bins to try to find this one zine. And that would take a whole lot of time, and I'd probably kind of forget what I was looking for anyway. So I decided to try magazine holders, which are kind of nice. They present well, they stay on the shelf nicely, you can label them, plus you pull them out and you can easily see what's inside. And they're made for magazines and zines. So that's what I'm working with. I got a bunch of them. I also have a small bin that I'm hoping to keep mini zines in. And the interesting thing about that is that I'm finding that there are quarter size zines and mini zines and micro zines that could potentially fit in there, but I'm not sure if I want to break that down even further. I have a lot of zines and I've collected them over a long period of time. So the biggest question was, how do I organize them? So what I basically did was picked up a hank of zines, just started going through them. This is a purr zine. This is a cat zine. This is a writing zine. This is a zine about death. This is a zine about dildos. Here's another cat zine. So I began to explore how many different items came up, and then just made a big stack of each subject. Then I put Post-its on the top zine of each stack so that I would know which subject was which stack, and just kept adding to the stacks. What I've noticed is that some stacks are much bigger than others, and I definitely don't have enough different containers for each individual stack. So what I think is going to end up happening is that there's going to be multiple subject matters in a single container, which is cool, which is fine. What I have to figure out is how I'm going to divide the subjects within the container. I may see if I've got subjects that are close enough in general subject that they can sit next to each other. I'm just kind of breaking it down to see where I'm at, and then I'm going to add containers as I need them. I bought a big pack of containers and I'm ready to go. I did it. I was able to fit everything into its own little box for the most part. It's definitely better organized than it was before. I went pretty quickly through organization, so much so that I didn't really stop to fully peruse my collection. I suppose if I'd really indulged in this, I could have allowed it to embrace me like a pool of cool water, and I could just plunge backwards into the amalgamation of time and ideas that I have been accumulating. Oh, seriously? I miss these. Hey, thanks for watching my little organizational journey. I also write some zines under the name Rain Barrel. They're purr zines, and I've got 3 issues on my Etsy right now. You can find my zines as well as other zines from my family at Rain Barrel Zine on Etsy, and sold in Quimby, Chicago, and ask for it by name.
Really important fest coming up in the Atlanta area on December 2nd through the 4th. It says it's going to be pronounced ZEEN, Z-E-E-N, Zine Fair, and I think that's a really fun little name. All we have right now is a static image. Hopefully we'll get some more images and stuff from that. I'm really looking forward to possibly see if I can go down there for a day. That would be wonderful. But that's really cool. And as a fellow person putting a zine fair together, bravo, that is a great name. And I really hope that you get good numbers as far as people signing up to be there, and you have a fun time. Okay, so I got some happy mail today. If you want to send happy mail, you can just send it right now. We don't have a P.O. box yet, but Zineville Post, 104 Allbeck Drive, Hurt, Virginia 24563. And I'm still going to be going through some back stock. I have it packed off right now. This is just recent Happy Mail, so we're going to just go through it real quick. I love this envelope, by the way, Theo. This is Theo Quest, and decorated little stars. And sent us the Imposter, which is wonderful. And a little, like a little tiny, little card. I love, well, let's do the Instagram thing. Woo! I love tarot cards, so this is like definitely going with all the tarot card stuff. But I'm putting in here for safekeeping until I categorize everything. I am making a spreadsheet to put all of our zine stuff, and I'm going to start sending out packages of thanks to everybody who has sent us zines thus far. So every zine I've gotten, like, I still have the envelope, and I try to keep them in the envelope, because when we set up the studio, and I'm going to do a whole video, you get to set the studio up with me. I'm so excited. I can actually organize everything, and the spreadsheet's really going to help, so I know accountability. Did I cover them? Yes. Did I send them a thank you package? There we go. So I'm going to try to do that as much as possible. But let's get into it. This is the Imposter. Really stoked about it. Ooh, get my face out of there. Check it out. It's really cool. I mean, I love zines anyway. You know this. But I love comic zines. I make comic zines, so they have a special place in my heart. Comics do, period. And I absolutely adore what people can do with black and white, because a lot of times that's all we really have access to is black and white. And look at that. I mean, I love supernatural, so it just kind of makes me very, very happy. And liminal spaces and cryptids and very Twin Peaks and, you know, any of that kind of like feel, X-Files, you know how it is. That's me. That's like literally my head all the time. Right here, check this. Very small use of color. Oh, can I get this? Very light use of color, but very potent. I mean, if you're going to use color in a black and white, you know, use it where it needs to be used, right? But yeah, this is like such a beautiful piece and very well thought out. So thank you so much, Theo. I'm going to read this letter that Theo sent. Oh, look at some beautiful pictures too. So that's the socials right there. TheoQuest.jpg. And that is probably gonna be Instagram, I believe. If don't quote me on that. But I'm gonna read this nice little note. And honestly, you never know how down you're feeling about like pushing it and pushing it and pushing it. And the drive is there, but sometimes you just need to like reset your mind, you know, and you need to know that what you're doing is making an impact. And some days I don't feel like what I'm doing is making an impact. And that's, you know, a spicy brain lying to me. So this little letter really made my day. I'm going to read it. Hi, Zineville. Thanks for considering reviewing my zine. Like, I'm going to say no. I love zines. Reviewing, I've loved seeing you pop up in my feed lately. You bring such positive, open energy to the conversation surrounding zines. Be still my heart. Those are the words I needed to hear at the exact moment I read that. I'm already getting all weepy again. Let me know if I can share any additional info about the zine. I am also a co-organizer for PHX Zine Fest, which we follow. Ding! And working on a collaborative series of zines about finding humor in death. So I'll likely have more stuff to bug you about in the future. Somebody who's been surrounded by death a lot in their life. Yeah, I'm very dark humor, and I always make a lot of light about death, and I know it bugs some people, but macabre. Thank you for putting your enthusiasm out into the world. It's needed. Theo, TheoQuest.jpg, TheoQuest@gmail.com. I highly suggest you get this zine because it I mean, I found myself crying. It's a very short, it's a mini comic, you know. It's short, it's very poignant, and it like hit me right here. Like it was the emotional liminal space that I needed at the time. You know what I mean? So that was one. Thank you so much. It was amazing. Let's go ahead and review one more package I got, and then we're going to do some community bulletin board. We have a bunch of zine fairs we're going to be putting on the community bulletin board, so definitely stay through the end of the episode. Really does help. We're going to go over this next one with our little buddy. This is the gorgeous little moth that my friend made me for my birthday last year, my 40th. And thank you, Sarah, if you're watching. This rosy maple moth has been my little constant comfort for this past week. I don't know if I can actually review a zine with a rosy maple moth being all cute and attention getting, but we're going to do it anyway. This next section of zines is from Ghostwatch Papercut LLC in Connecticut. Paranormal photography and lore. Have you seen a ghost? Report it. Please. I ain't afraid of no ghost. Hi, looking forward to your review. Enjoy. Paul, Ghostwatch. www.ghostwatch.us. And for all that don't know me, I have lived in haunted houses before, and I've got some stories, so I might have to actually like type them all up and send them in, because I got some spooky photos too. This has got great stories. I really I had fun looking through these, and that's when we're like, we need to submit to this, because I've definitely seen some ghosts. So you get stories, first-hand accounts, pictures, art, you name it. I'm going to give you a couple of pictures in here. The paranormal investigation equipment, this one really kind of stuck out to me. Check that out. You have all the different things you would possibly need to check them ghosts out. And yeah, I kind of want a spirit box now, because the house we're living in now is easily haunted. There are definitely things I've heard in this house, and it's a very small house. With a lot of woods, and this is an old house, and I'm like, I know I've heard things, so I'm not imagining stuff at all. And I've lived in one of the most haunted towns, Wilmington, North Carolina, so you do the math. But yeah, it's really cool because you got some great stories in here, mostly going to be first-hand accounts and such like that, in interviews. I'm gonna go ahead and read one of the editor's notes. Back again. This time I'm writing to you from my new residence, which has new studio space for me to work on this project. Congrats, by the way. I know how much that helps, is having a dedicated space. I'm lack of that right now, as you can see. For anyone new here, Ghostwatch Zine is a project I work on independently as a passion project. I love working with paranormal enthusiasts and experiencers to gather this content. My goal from the beginning has always been to create a concise platform for those with similar interests and experience to come together. It's been working out great. I work on every aspect of the zine from beginning to end. While the content comes from far and wide, the rest is done out of the office and home. Every package is hand-packed. Every issue is assembled with care. I do it all with passion and excitement, and genuinely hope when you receive this in the mail or pick it up elsewhere, you are instilled with the same inspiration. Now get to reading. As always, I hope you enjoy, Paul. Yes, totally enjoyed. Definitely pick it up. Become a contributor too, because any of these, if you've got ghost stories, I mean, I'm pretty sure that they would love to have your ghost stories in here. And I've got to actually put my ghost stories in here, because there's quite a few. So again, thank you to everybody who sent stuff in. I'm really excited about this. You guys are amazing. This is a wonderful community of zine folks, and anything I can do to improve this channel would be great. One way I can improve it is by you submitting something. We are going to be at SPX, Small Press Expo. I cannot wait. That's going to have to be a 2-part episode, because we're going to be there for the weekend. A lot of people I want to interview. A lot of people I want you to meet. a lot of new people that I need to meet, and there's a couple of zine classes that we're going to take too. So I'm really excited about that. I've got a press pass. I'm going to feel so important. Not self-important, but I just feel important because it's like, wow, I mean, I'm getting a press pass. It's so personally big. It's like a big kind of like, ooh. I want to do a live. Tell me what you think about live feeds on Instagram or even here on YouTube. I wouldn't mind doing a live feed. Maybe we can put my studio together in a live feed. Maybe. Tell me what you think. Let's roll those credits, and I will see you on the flip side. Peace. Today's episode has been brought to you by the letter Z for zine and by viewers like you. So you know what to do. Hit that subscribe button. Hit that little bell. Comment, share, like. Boom.